Welcome to Game 4 of Round 2 against the Edmonton Oilers, who after a couple of mediocre performances decided to sit their starting goalie in favor of their backup, Calvin Pickard. The game started with Darnell Nurse taking a bad penalty and then failing to process his negative emotions about it. You see how Dakota Joshua just ate that punch without flinching?
That's 4 minutes.
And he's right, that should have been called too, but hey, it's playoff hockey. We don't know what the hell's going on. The Canucks' second power play unit applied some solid pressure but couldn't get one past the Oilers' netminder. Then JT Miller got called for interference, giving the dangerous Edmonton power play a chance to score, and, well, they did. It was Leon Draisaitl potting his 8th of the postseason, but look how close Artie SILOVS was to saving that one. 1-0 Oilers. NIKITA ZADOROV crushed Connor McDavid. Then, Evander Kane was given a double minor for high-sticking Tyler Myers and drawing blood, although the replay shows you that it probably should have been a 5-minute major for cross-checking, but whatever, because the Canucks couldn't score on the ensuing 4-minute power play, and I'm not sure an extra minute would have done all that much anyway. In fact, the two teams had the same amount of chances on that power play, but SILOVS and Pickard stopped both of them. Pius Suter hit the post, Pickard stopped a Teddy Bluger shot, SILOVS stopped the Nurse shot, Linus Karlsson made a nice defensive play to stop Draisaitl from entering the zone. Bluger made a nice defensive play to stop a Draisaitl pass from reaching Dylan Holloway. Quinn Hughes made a nice defensive play, getting his stick in the way of a shot from Ryan McLeod and deflecting it out of play. Then Brock Boeser had an amazing opportunity to tie the game, but Pickard came in clutch for his teammates as his parents watched with what I imagine would be an immense amount of pride. But then SILOVS did the same thing at the other end, stopping 2 Darnell Nurse shots, with the second one being the most impressive. Fuck. Still 1-0 Oilers. Then Ian Cole, who played great in the first round but has been struggling a little bit in the second, did a wonderful job defending an Oilers 2-on-1. Nice. Connor Garland had a good chance, but Pickard stopped him. Then Noah Juleson, who was in the lineup replacing the suspended Carson Soucy, clapped one from the point, but Pickard was in good position to stop that one too. The Canucks were getting their chances, there's no doubt about that, but they needed to score. Obviously, you can't win a game 0-0, but even 1 or 2 goals won't cut it when you're playing against a team that has 2 of the best offensive talents of all time. With less than half the game remaining, they needed to figure something out, and as well as SILOVS has been playing, they can't expect him to steal every second game for them. Well, maybe they can, but they shouldn't. Also, you know who really needs to get it going? Elias Pettersson. He's one of the best players in the world, and it's going to take more than a couple months of mediocrity to change that. However, it's getting to the point where the team really needs him to step up, especially on nights like this when SILOVS is standing on his head, giving his teammates every chance to get back in the game. And if he's not scoring, he's at least got to be solid defensively, and honestly, outside of Game 2 in the Nashville series, he has been. But then you see him do something like this. Why would he take this angle on Mattias Ekholm in the neutral zone? This makes me think he must be injured, because right here, when he sees that Ekholm is about to cut back towards the offensive zone, regular Petey would have cut with him and tied him up in some way, but instead, he takes a super wide turn, giving Ekholm the time and space to make a play. Now, to be fair, this really shouldn't have amounted to anything, but that's when Noah Juleson comes in. Look, I love Noah. I think he's a great defender, but every now and then he'll do something like this where there's an opportunity to lay a big hit and it's almost like he gets tunnel vision. He goes for the hit and makes contact, but not only did he throw himself out of position, he also got in the way of a back-checking Ilya Mikheyev, and just like that, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid broke in on a 2-on-1 and scored. Nuge pots his second of the playoffs and the Canucks go down 2-0, and all it took was a couple cascading mistakes. Also, I just want to highlight what Zadorov said to Juleson after that goal went in.
It's all good.
Big Zed is turning out to be everything you want in a player, and I would be so sad if the Canucks can't find a way to re-sign him for next season. Also, I want to highlight this beefy moment between Elias Lindholm and Draisaitl.
I'm coming for you.
Then, in the third period, Linus Karlsson took a penalty, but man, SILOVS was unreal. Look at these saves, dude. He killed the penalty off almost entirely on his own. Beautiful, still 2-0 Oilers. Then there was some rough stuff, and Corey the Worm Perry was doing Corey the Worm Perry stuff. Then, with 13 minutes left in the game, Connor Garland scored to bring the Canucks within 1. Woo! Ian Cole made another good defensive play, knocking Nugent-Hopkins off the puck to alleviate some pressure. Then, Miller got goofy at the point and gave the puck away to Evander Kane, but goddamn, Artie SILOVS came flying out of the net to prevent Kane from getting a clean breakaway. The balls this kid has. Just incredible. He deserves every drop of praise he gets. Then, still down by 1 goal with just over 2 minutes remaining in the game, the Canucks pulled SILOVS for the extra attacker, and thanks to a shot from Boeser that bounced off Joshua's leg, they scored. Obviously, tie game. I say obviously because this Vancouver team has proven to be extremely resilient no matter how many goals they're down by, no matter how much time is remaining. I'm not just saying this, when the third period started with them down 2-0, I felt like I knew they were going to tie it up. Obviously, I'm not psychic, that's just how I felt. And after they scored, I decided to treat myself by making a nice, yummy stir fry that I could enjoy during overtime. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm really into cooking. I love combining flavors and learning new recipes. Yeah, so the Oilers scored with 33 seconds left and won the game 3-2. That last goal was extra painful because it was so avoidable. The Canucks were just a little too lax in their own end, probably thinking the game was already headed to overtime. I don't know. Here's what Miller said about it after.
I mean, I'm pretty upset with myself at the moment. That was a pretty big play at the end of the game there. That pass should have never got to Bouchard, and certainly shouldn't get past me, so already can't see anything.
Despite Vancouver taking over in the third period, Edmonton was the better team for the majority of the game, and they deserved the win. Plus, it's Canucks in 6, so whatever. The series is headed back to Vancouver tied 2-2, and apparently Tocchet wasn't too stoked with the play of some of his players. Here's what he said after Game 4.
We need 5 or 6 guys to get going here. I mean, it's the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's some guys I don't know if they thought it was the playoffs. So we can't play with 12 guys. And you can't win if you have 5 or 6 passengers. Or 7, I don't know how many it was, we'll take a look, but there's at least a half a dozen just passengers tonight. Quite frankly, that's what it was.
This series is turning out to be everything I wanted it to be, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Thanks to these nuckheads who chose to support the channel by clicking the join button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you Friday. Bye.
How do you get under his skin?
If you turn the puck over on the ice, that will get him.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. That's why I just dump it in now when I play with them.